just good enough. Yeah, we live for the drop. Yeah, we live for the drop. It's our time, we'll wait for a while.
Check, check.
Check. 1, 2, 3. I like the scene. We got some bobbing around, some movement. How are you guys this morning? It is good to see you all. I think that for some reason everyone just likes like this half of the gym, and then we have Bree and Justin over here. So you guys are carrying the entire, my left, your right side of the gymnasium, and you're supporting it all. So I would love to do some sort of like screaming match where I'm gonna see like this side's excited to be here and this side's excited to be here. So leaders, I'm gonna ask all the leaders to help out my two kiddos right here. And we're gonna see who is the most excited to be here on this breakaway, unforgettable, I guess summers? I don't know if that's still technically summer anymore because I woke up and it didn't feel like summer. But this is Breakaway Unforgettable Summer Sundays, and we are excited to be here. So I want to hear right over here, how excited are we on the count of 3? Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. I think that was okay, but I want to hear all of you over here on my left. How excited are we to be here today? Woo! Oh, my ears are hurting. Guys, I need to give you another chance because they just blew you out of the water. How excited are you to be here today? Let me hear it. Woo! Oh, my goodness. My eardrums are ringing. But even though you guys did get 2 chances at it, I still have to say, the one time this side did it, I still think they were a little bit louder. So let me hear you guys. How excited are you to have won the screaming battle? Yeah, that seals it. That seals it for sure. So, for today, as we continue to talk about friendship, we're gonna start with a little game in just a second. Obviously, as you guys can see, Mr. Irwin's not here today. So it's very sad. I already miss him. I'm sure you guys miss him too. But we'll get through it, I think. Maybe. He's outside today baptizing people. So there's some beautiful baptisms happening today, and that's why he's going to be out there. So if you think about him, send him up a little prayer because it is way too cold to be in a bathtub of water right now outside. I don't think anyone would want to do that. That's not fun at all. Okay, so let us begin with our game. So as you can see here, I have a bench. This bench is one of my favorite benches, duly named El Bancho de lo Complemente. Roughly translated, that means the compliment bench. I don't know what language it was in, but I just made it up. So this is the compliment bench. On the compliment bench, this is where one of our leaders in a moment will sit. And our game is very simple. To represent friendship, one of the greatest things that any friend can do, or one of the greatest feelings anyone can get, is from a friend complimenting you, right? If I were to go up to any single one of you and be like, wow, Tyler, your flannel today, man, is so great. Ooh, Bree, you are looking good today. I love your glasses. Ooh, Nicole, nice shoes. I love your hair, Shannon. Or like, and so on and so forth. When you guys get a compliment, it just makes you feel really, really good. So here's our game. One of our leaders is going to come up and sit on the compliment bench. And I'll be honest, when I sit on this bench, feel good. I feel like I'm sitting out on a park bench. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. Anyway.
Mr.
So,
Aaron, I love those glasses.
stop.
They look so
Stop,
good
Josh,
on you.
Stop. I don't like compliments. Makes me all get flustered and flush. Anyway, so I need a leader to start us off. Natural born leaders. I'm going to give you guys a chance. I'm going to give you guys a chance to win the opportunity to sit on this bench. So I need a leader who's very, very willing and ready to be complimented and treated. Wow, all of our leaders. None of them are excited to raise their hands. None of them are excited. Tyler definitely is the most excited to be up here. Tyler has a big head, and Tyler, or maybe he's just having a rough day and he needs to be built up a little bit because he's a little bit sad. So, in just a second, what I'm going to ask every single one of you kids to do, if you're willing, is to line up behind this microphone. And I'm going to set a timer for 30 seconds. Don't do yet. I'm going to set a timer for 30 seconds. Here's what's going to happen. You are all going to get a chance, if you so desire, to give Tyler a compliment. It could be anything you want. It could be super creative, and that's the goal. Whichever compliment is the most creative, the most goofy or fun, but still being true, wins. And if you win, based off of my judgment, you will then get the opportunity to sit on the compliment bench. And then other kids will come up and compliment you. Any questions? So you're just coming up here and trying to think of really, really clever compliments. Like, I can look at Tyler and be like, Tyler, your eyes make me feel like an eagle soaring into the clouds on a sunny day. And that's a clever compliment. I mean, is that creative? Yeah. Can you come up with something that's more creative than that?
Wake up.
Yeah, whatever your compliment wants to be. You can say, Tyler, you woke up today. You did a good job. I'm so proud of you. All right, so let me set a timer for us, and then we will begin. So if you aren't already thinking of some compliments, try thinking of some compliments. I'm going to give you guys like 10 seconds to think of something, and then once you have something, come in line. We're going to start a line right here. Who wants to get in line? Leaders, you can also get in line if you want to give Tyler a compliment. So please, I encourage you to do that. All righty. Here we go. The timer is going to start in 3, 2, 1. Go. Go ahead. If you can't think of anything, just go in the back of the line, and then you'll go again. Go in the back of the line. Go in the back of the line. Next. You can't think of anything. Go in the back of the line. Go in the back of the line. You can think. That's all right. Rich, you got a compliment for Tyler?
Tyler, I love that coffee cup you're drinking.
Ooh. Go ahead. We're going to add 30 more seconds to our timer just because we had a slow start. If you can't think of anything, go in the back of the line.
You have a really nice coat.
That's a great comment. All right, next.
You got really nice shoes.
You got really nice shoes.
You got a really nice shirt.
Ooh. Nice. You got a really nice shirt.
I like your shirt.
Get a really nice pants.
Really nice pants. I like that one. Like your shoes. We got a theme going on here. Dressed like a pro.
I like the bench, if you even own it.
Oh, solid burn, Branch.
All right, last one right here.
I love everyone's shoes in the whole entire world.
Well done, guys. Well done. I honestly, my favorite part of that entire thing is how hard it was for people to think of compliments for Tyler. Tyler, you're such a great sport. Thank you, Tyler. Your smile gives me a reason to wake up in the mornings. All right, so out of everyone who gave a compliment, I have to ask my judges as well, my judging panel. Who do we think got the best? Out of everyone who gave compliments, not only were they the guys, have a seat, please. Psst, 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 psst. Not only were the compliments the best, in my opinion, there were a lot of really great compliments. Great shoes, great shirt, great pants, and repeated a couple times. I think Colton definitely gave the most passion, the most compliments, and the best compliments. So Colton, you want to come up here and sit on the compliment bench for us? All right, guys, so it's going to be round 2. This is our final round. This gives you the opportunity to give Colton some compliments. So I'm going to give you a second. Think of some compliments. And as you think of one, you can come up into line again to give Colton some compliments. And leaders, again, I would love to see some leaders also add in this too. Yes. Once you have a thought, you can go in line, and then we're going to set the timer once we have a couple people in line. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yes, here we go. Any other kids want to give Colton a Guys, we're practicing our friendship right here, how to give each other compliments. Yeah, you can go in line. That's fine. Back here, Yes, there we go. I love, love, love this. All right, great job, guys. Colton's getting a lot more compliments than Tyler. Oh, boy. All right, now that we have, again, so this time, just remember that if you have trouble remembering what you wanted to say, that's okay. You can just go back in the back of the line and try to remember again, okay? All righty, we're going to set our timer in 3, 2, 1.
Colton, your sneakers are the coolest light-up sneakers in the world.
Your shirt is so plaid, it's like your personality.
Ooh.
Wait, what did you say? What did you say?
One more time.
I love you, Colton. I hope you have a great time.
Oh.
And I hope you have everything except your light up shoe.
That's such a great compliment. Next.
Colton,
Colton,
we love your green shirt because that's my favorite color. All right, good job, James.
I love your pose on that bench.
I like your jeans.
I love your pants. I wish I could stay. I wish I could sit on the picnic bench.
Oh, okay.
I like
Last
your
two.
shoelaces.
They're not even shoelaces.
I like your short.
Good job.
Oh my goodness. Those were all incredible, incredible, incredible compliments. results. But again, we need to consult the judges. So.
All right, we got our winner. We got our winner.
Okay, Colton, I love
They
you.
were all.
All right, have a seat. Have a seat.
Go ahead, sit back down, bud.
Okay.
All right, good job. We decided that we had to go with Shannon and her pose on the bench.
Yeah, that was the final one.
Yeah,
The pose on the bench.
the pose on the bench.
I like it. I
That
like
was a
it.
good
Awesome.
compliment.
I appreciate you guys. Again, that was all for us to practice our friendship skills. So thank you for all who participated. You guys did an incredible job. Obviously, the next part of our lesson is that stuff we all like to talk about. Yes, that is right. We are talking about stuff. The part of the story where we get to come up and tell you a silly song. No, that's VeggieTales. What am I saying? No. This is where I get to tell you a goofy story about my life. So, this is one of the most embarrassing stories of my existence. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you're listening, and I hope you're ready to laugh at me because it's really bad. So I, unlike a lot of you guys who I know have really good jobs and are making lots of money, when I was your age, I didn't work like as much as you guys do. And I know Emily works like 24/7, and I know Tara is like working nonstop. You work at a gas station, right? Or no, you're an accountant. That's right, you're the accountant. I always get you mixed up with someone else for some reason. But when I was your age, I didn't have a very good job. And so I didn't have a lot of money. And so everything costs money, and I wanted to be able to do things that I could do myself without spending money. And one of those things that would cost money were haircuts. And I think some of you already know where this story's going. So when I was a little bit older than you, I was like, you know what? I'm going to cut my own hair. And so what I did is I went up into my parents' room, and my dad had like hair trimmer, like buzzer, and I was like, I'm going to try this. And so I grabbed the clippers. I made sure no one was watching because I was like really nervous because I knew I wasn't supposed to be using the hair clippers. And I started going, and I put it on the back of my head, and the guard that is supposed to like keep it like a super long still, as I was going up, fell right off, and I went zzz, up half of the back of my head from like here to here, and I just had this square rectangular shape of no hair. It was so embarrassing. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. And so I tried to like even it out a little bit by making the rest of my hair like close to that short, but not as short. And I was like, oh, I can still see it. This is really, really bad. And so I had this brilliant idea. I got a brown Sharpie. That is right. I got a brown Sharpie. And I Sharpied in the entirety of my head. And I was like, okay, you know what? No one will notice because my hair's now looks like it's brown. And no one's going to see that it's just a Sharpie. And so then I went around all day like, yep, no one knows. No one knows that I buzzed off half my head. And then I went swimming. Yes, not a great idea on this particular day. Believe me, it wasn't actually covering it up. I didn't realize that at first. But I went swimming, and as I went swimming, I got out, and not only did the marker run off, but it looked like bright red instead of brown mixed with the water. And so then I had this bright red rectangular shape on the back of my head, and I was so embarrassed. I hope that none of you guys ever use your parents' stuff out being given permission. I also hope that you never try to cut your own hair without lots and lots and lots and lots of practice on other people. Yes, on other people. Because it'd be funny if you did that to someone else, but don't do it to yourself. Just kidding. Don't tell your parents I said that. And that, guys, is my stuff story. Yes, that is the time where I had a rectangular bald spot on my head for way too long. With that being said, I'm going to ask you guys to stand as we begin our worship. And yes, if all of my wonderful leaders will come up as we begin with Marching On.
Let our praises remind all the darkness of how great and how mighty our God is. For the battle belongs to the Lord, and no one We are standing in holy defiance. We're declaring loud in the silence that the battle belongs to the Lord and no one else, no one else. We'll sing hallelujah for all hell to hear. Shout out Hosanna above every fear. Strongholds will crumble like castles of sand. We are marching on. We're marching on. Unstoppable kingdom advances as we take back the ground from the darkness. The battle belongs to the Lord and no one else. You're the banner we raise in the chaos. No, the gates of hell won't stand against us. The battle belongs to the Lord and no one else, no one else. We'll sing hallelujah for all hell to hear. Shout out Hosanna above every fear. Strongholds will crumble like castles of sand. We are marching on. We're marching on. We're marching on. We're marching on. In the chaos, the crisis, the troubles, the trials, the shadows, the sorrows, the long nights, the hard fight. We are the prophets, the voice in the darkness, declaring the battle is yours. We'll sing hallelujah for all hell to hear. Shout out Hosanna above every fear. Strongholds will crumble like castles of sand. We are marching on. We're marching on. We're marching on.
Great singing, guys. Keep standing, because we are getting right into I Will Follow.
When you move, I move, I will follow.
Stand up, guys, stand up.
All your ways are good, all your ways are sure. I will trust in you alone, higher than my sight, high above my life.
girls, thank you so much for that. You guys can have a seat real quick. And as we begin or get into our next worship song, I just want to pray very quickly. So if I could ask you guys to please hush down, quiet your hearts, and close our eyes. God, I thank you so much, Lord, for these kids. I pray, Lord, that in all things in our lives, we follow you. God, that you direct our ways, that we follow what you want for our lives. God, I pray this prayer, Lord, and I pray also, God, that as we sing this final song, Lord, that you set a fire within us to just love you well, to love others well, and to really, truly show not only love, but friendship to one another. In your name I pray. Amen. If you guys could stand for our last song.
I would rather be. No place I would rather be than here in your love, here in your love. No place I would rather be. No place I would rather be. No place I would rather be than here in your love, here in your love. Set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain and I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more of you, God. Set a fire down in my soul that I can't contain and I can't control. I want more of you, God. I want more.
God, as again, Lord, we get ready for today's lesson, God, I pray that in every single one of these kids' lives, in every single one of the leaders' lives, you just prepare our hearts. You get us ready in not only in our minds, Lord, but in our actions, God. I pray, Lord, that today, more than ever, you teach these kids something new and something beautiful about you. And God, I pray that today in the kids' actions, as they keep their hands to themselves, as they listen well, as they're not distracting themselves or each other, God, I pray that you speak to them and you speak to us. I pray, Lord, that you bless Mr. Rich as he comes and presents your word to us now. I pray this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Hello again, my for real friends. How are we? How are we? We're still awake, right? Man, I really loved this game that we played earlier when you guys took the time to encourage our friends, right? Encouragement from a friend can get you pumped up. It's a really great thing, right? Like if you're going out onto the field for a game, you get encouragement from your friends, or on stage for a recital like we do here. Encouragement from a friend can also help when you're going through some difficult times, right? Well, today we're going to talk about two people in the Old Testament. We're going to read about two friends who found out how important it is to encourage each other. Their names were Elijah and Elisha. I thought it would be fun to tell you their story using leader charades. That's when your leaders act out what happened while you guys try to guess. Get ready, leaders. Your chance is coming soon. We can find the story of Elijah and Elisha in the books of 1st and 2nd Kings. These books tell the stories about the kings who ruled over God's people in the days after David was king. A lot of these kings followed God, but many, many more of them did not. Unfortunately, since they didn't listen to God, their kingdoms didn't do so well. It started to fall apart, but God still loved his people. He cared about them so much that he sent prophets, or people who spoke to everyone and shared God's words with them. Elijah was one of these prophets. Elijah did amazing things through God's power. At one point, he asked God to bring on a drought to show how powerful God is. A drought is what? It's when it doesn't rain, right? And it didn't rain for 3 whole years. No rain for 3 years. When the time was right, Elijah asked God to send rain to people in need. And that's not all. Through God's power, Elijah even brought a boy who had died back to life. It might seem like being a prophet would be a pretty sweet job, right? But it was actually really lonely and really challenging for Elijah. Not everybody liked the messages from God that he shared, and he was traveling all alone. Elijah was so upset that he cried out to God, and this is what he prayed. Lord God, who rules over all, I've been very committed to you. The Israelites have turned their backs on your covenant. They have torn down your altars. They put your prophets to death with their swords, and I am the only one left. Elijah felt all alone, and God knew that he needed encouragement. So God sent Elijah to get someone to be the next prophet. That man's name was Elisha. Not Elijah, Elisha. I know it's kind of confusing, but I'll try to keep saying it like that so you guys know the difference. Elijah went to get Elisha. And guess what Elisha was doing? Well, you know what? Remember how I talked about the leader charades? Well, we're going to do that right now. So let me see if I could get David up here. And let's try and figure out what David is doing. All right, guys. Try to guess what David is doing. Did somebody say plowing? Very good. Excellent. Elisha was plowing a field. Thanks, David. You could go sit down. Appreciate it, buddy. That means he had a simple machine pulled by animals that would tear up the earth so that he could plant seeds to grow crops, right? Elijah saw Elisha, and he took his coat and put it around Elisha's shoulders. This was a sign that God had chosen Elisha to be Elijah's assistant. Elijah started walking to the next place he needed to be, and Elisha ran after him. Elisha said that he needed to say goodbye to his parents, then he would come. Elisha said goodbye to his mom and dad. Then he did something very interesting. Let's see. I'm going to ask another leader to act out what happened. I'm going to take the other David. This is a tough one. You guys got to try and guess what David's doing. Go ahead. He burned something. What do you think he burned? What do you think he burned? What was he doing? What was he pulling in the earlier charade? A plow. Okay, David, thank you. He did. He burned his plow. Crazy, right? I'll answer your question in a second, bud. So, he then cooked the 2 oxen that were pulling the plow and made a feast for all the people who lived there. Then he left his friends and family, and he went to follow Elijah.
Still not on? There we go. So basically, Elijah and Elisha became friends and close companions. I know it's really confusing because their names are so close together, and it kind of makes me upset. I always try to remember it. Who came first, Elijah or Elisha? Well, Elijah, that's a J, right? For those of you guys who are sounding out your letters, J. And Elisha, that's an H. So J comes before S in the alphabet, right? So Elijah actually comes before Elisha. So if J comes before S, and if you know your alphabet really well, then you'll remember which one came first. So Elijah was first, and Elisha kind of became his kind of like student, like apprentice, the guy who was following him around. But they became really close, and they became very, very familiar with each other. And eventually, Elisha watched as Elijah spoke to powerful kings and shared God's word to all the peoples. So I want to, actually, before I get there, I want to say this. One day, they left town of Gilgal. It was a really, really kind of funny name, Gilgal. Gilgal, and traveling towards Bethel, another city not too far away. They knew that their friendship on earth wasn't going to last forever. Sometime very, very soon, God was going to take Elijah to heaven. Elijah told Elisha to stay there while he kept traveling. And the Bible tells us exactly what happened when Elijah told Elisha to stay put. Here's what he says in 2 Kings 2:2. Elijah said to Elisha, "Stay here. The Lord has sent me to Bethel." But Elisha said, "I won't leave you. And that's just as sure as the Lord and you are alive." So they went down to Bethel. They stayed together, and he was not willing to lose or leave his friend. Elisha sure was a good friend, wasn't he? He traveled with Elijah to Bethel. Even though it was a long distance and he didn't really maybe want to, he still stayed with him. And when they got there, it happened again. Elijah said the same thing to Elisha. And here's what he says in 2 Kings 2:4. He says, Elijah said to him, "Stay here, Elisha. The Lord has sent me to Jericho, another city." So yesterday they traveled to a city. They were there for a little while, and now he's traveling to another city. And Elijah's saying, "Hey, you don't have to come with me. Just stay here." But Elisha replies, "I won't leave you. And that's just as sure as the Lord and you are alive." And so they went to Jericho. Do you guys remember what Jericho was? There's this another story about Jericho. You remember? Remind me your name? Adeline. What's so special about Jericho? You forget? That's okay. Can anyone help her? But what? Yeah, they did a lot of bad things. You're right. Do you remember something about their walls? Their walls came tumbling down, right? The Israelites walked around the walls for 7 days in a row, and then on the seventh day, they walked around it 7 times, and then they blew a horn and screamed, and the walls came tumbling down. So that's the Jericho that they went to, but at a different time, much, much, much later. So anyway, that's the Jericho. That's the city they went to. And they made it to Jericho. When you know it, the exact thing happened again 3 times now. The same story. Elijah is going to then go forward into another city. And this is what he says to Elisha. Actually, let me back up a little bit. I have to add another detail that I forgot. They made it to Jericho, and Elijah told Elisha that God had sent him there for a reason. Where was it, you may ask? I'm going to ask another leader to act it out for us. So I need a leader ready and willing to act out something else that the kids have to figure out. I see. Ooh, let's go with Rich. You are making people act things out. Now I'm going to make you act something out yourself. So come on up here. And this is where the third location, the type of place that they went. This is the word you're going to act out right there. Where did they go? Everyone watch Rich. He went swimming. Now, where would you go swimming maybe? Where? I heard a lake, not a lake. Oh, that's right. You got it correct. The right answer is a river. Thank you very much, Rich. And thank you all for participating. That's right. The third location that Elijah was going to was a river. Now, with that being said, of course, Elisha wasn't going to let his friend go alone. And so they went together to the Jordan, just like he did, and just like he traveled with his companion every single time. In just a second, I'm going to ask another leader to come up and to act this final thing out for us. You see, they finally arrived at that river, and the river was huge. And there is a story that goes just like this. I need a leader to demonstrate what happens when they got to the river. Tyler, can you come up here and demonstrate for me what happened when they got to the river? This is the Jordan River. A lot of really awesome biblical things happened when they got to the river. So Tyler, what happened when they got to the river? Yes, that's right. God parted the waters. Very good guess. Very good acting. That was beautifully done. Thank you, Tyler, for that. Everyone give Tyler a big hand. Sorry. I should have given big hands for Rich, too. Big hand for Rich, too. Big hand for Rich, too. Oh, yes, that's right. The pity clap. The pity clap. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so here is what happened. Elijah took his coat and rolled it up. So you can imagine, he has a jacket on, he takes it off, he rolls it up, and then he smashes the water with it. And when he hits the water, after the coat struck the water parted. One side went to the left, one side went to the right, and the river stopped. No more water was flowing down. He and Elisha were then able to walk on that dry ground. Do you guys remember any other stories where the water was parted? Tara? Moses, right? The Israelites parted God parted the water through Moses too. And now he's doing the same thing with Elijah here. And we're going to see in a little bit that those weren't the only two who were able to do this, which is really, really cool too. After they walked across, Elijah stopped and took the time to encourage. Remember that's the key word here with friendship, to encourage Elisha. And this is what he said. This comes again from the Bible in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 2, verse 9. Here's what we read. Tell me, what can I do for you before I'm taken away from you? Elisha said. Please give me a double share. Elijah said, please give me a double share of your spirit, Elisha replied. And so Elijah's there, and he knows that something big is about to happen. And because he knows something's big about to happen, he wants something from Elijah. Well, Elijah offers him something. What would you like from me? And his response is, God is so powerful in you. Your spirit is so alive with God. I want that, but I want double that. And that to me is like the coolest request ever. And Elijah said to Elisha said that Elisha would receive what he had asked for, as long as he saw what Elijah was about to experience. Then something truly, truly incredible happened. Last one. I thought I was going to just do the last one, but I want to add one more charades in. Naomi, you want to help us out? All right, Naomi, thank you. You're going to help us out by acting out this very, very last part of their story. This is what the incredible thing that happened. All right, so this is what you're going to act out. It's a really tough one. This is a really tough one. What happened to Elijah in this story? Any guesses? Lasso? Not lasso. Keep going, keep going. Let's break it up. Let's break it up into a couple things. Let's think of this word first. Do you think we can get that, maybe? Or that? I got you. Do you want to do it together? All right, so we're going to act it out together. So this is going to be the first part. All right, fly. I heard flying. Now we need what he's flying on. Do they have airplanes during the Bible time? What's that? There's no airplanes. I heard, wait, did I hear? I think I heard it. Starts with the letter C. That's right. He flew on a chariot. Do anyone remember what kind of chariot it was? Yeah, you remember? Yes, that's right. Elijah was taken up in a whirlwind. And thank you, Naomi. You're awesome. Right, everybody give Naomi a big hand. And he was taken up on a chariot of fire. Now, if you guys don't know what a chariot is, it's kind of like a carriage that's pulled by horses. And a lot of times they would use them. Oh, that's a chariot right there. Chariot of fire being pulled up into heaven by horses. That's crazy, because I've never seen flying horses. I've never seen a chariot that was on fire. And if I did, I wouldn't want to be sitting on it. So he didn't get burned, but he was brought up to heaven by God, which is so cool. But the sad part, Elisha was there alone now. His buddy left, right? His friend is gone. And so Elisha's sitting there, but he's not sad. Now, from there, it's pretty wild for us to even try to imagine that. But Elijah saw that it was the will of God, and that the will of God was now in his hands to then continue what Elijah had begun. And the request that he made to be given a double spirit of the Lord, to serve God and to be able to do that mightily, was clearly evident through what happened next. Because after that, Elisha noticed that Elijah's coat was left behind. that coat that he had smacked the water with, and the waters parted. And so here's what happened. Guys, can you please keep your hands to yourselves? That'd be awesome. Thank you. So here's what happened. Elisha noticed that Elijah's coat was left behind. Elisha picked it up and hurried back to the Jordan River. When he got to the Jordan River, he took the coat himself. Take a guess. What do you think he did? That's right. He took it, he rolled it up, he struck the waters with it. And you know what happened? That's right. The waters parted, just like Elijah did. And so the Spirit of God was still there with Elijah, even though Elijah had left, and he was able to walk again on the dry ground of the Jordan River. Here's the cool part, or one of the many cool parts of this story. A group of prophets. If you're not sure what a prophet is someone who gives messages, usually from God. And they have something to say to the people. A group of prophets from Jericho saw what Elijah was able to do through the power of God. And they saw that God's Spirit was with Elijah in the same way it had been with Elijah, the exact same way. And when we look at the friendship between Elijah and Elisha, we can see that they were always there for each other. They went through a lot together. But no matter what happened, they were there not only to help each other, but to encourage each other along the way. Just like you guys were doing with your compliments earlier, which was super, super cool to see. And that's what friends do. So guys, if you forget everything else about this story, which I hope you don't, I hope you can go home and on your ride home, you can tell your parents, we learned about Elijah and we learned about Elisha, and they were able to part the water, and they were able to fly away on chariots, and all these cool things that actually happened. I would love to be able to hear that you guys are able to remember those things and communicate them to your parents. But if you forget everything else, and I'll be able to write this in a second. It's Colton, right? Colton? Yeah, it's Colton. 1 second. If you forget everything else, here's the bottom line. Encourage friends. Encourage one another. Friends encourage one another. Remember that, guys. Because if you're friends with someone and you're constantly making fun of them and putting them down, do you think that's very friendly? If your friends are constantly picking on you or making fun of you, do you think that's a real friend? I don't think so, guys. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to encourage you guys, first of all, to be good friends to each other. Show people the love of God. And just like that, I'm going to lead us into the So and Show, where we get to see the same story brought to us in a whole new light. So if you guys would, listen up to our friends at the So and Show.
Bud. D's. Buddies. Chums.
Ami.
Goes. Amigos. Owls. Pals. Frothy. Frothy.
No, listen.
Fructose. Fructose. Ontogenesis. Frontogenesis. Why aren't you saying that?
Sorry. I'm with you this time.
Okay,
right. Mashed pate.
Toes. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the So and So Show.
I'm John, he's Brandon, and we're friends.
That's correct. We know each other so well, we can finish each other's
soup. Taco soup.
That is true. We both do like taco soup. You know what they say, friends are friends
for as long as the money's rolling in.
Some people do say that, but not us.
Never.
No, we're as close as two peas in a pod.
Poncherello, that's 1970s motorcycle cop show chips.
Yeah, we know each other so well. Hey, can you guess what I'm going to say next?
Of course! Please welcome someone who knows stuff! All right! Woo!
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, please, sit down.
I'm actually used to standing if you don't mind.
Oh, no, sure, we'll stand up too.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Tell us who you are and what you know.
I'm Sally Joggins, and I'm a water volunteer for marathon runners.
A water volunteer?
That's right. When marathon runners are in the middle of the race, they can't just stop off at any watering fountain. That's where I come in.
So you give water to runners as they run by?
I don't just give out water. Anybody could do that. I assess the runners' approximate fatigue and dehydration levels, and then I quickly provide them with the amount of fluids they require to keep them in the race. Heads up! Let's go! You're at the 16th mile mark! You're killing it!
Are you at a marathon right now?
I sure am.
Oh, cool. How many races have you volunteered for?
I volunteered for 278 marathons, half marathons, triathlons, and fun runs all over the U.S., the UK, and twice in Canada.
Wow,
Hold
that
alive.
sounds like...
You've got this. You're making great time. Let's go! Go, go, go!
I love how you're trying to motivate the runners as they go by. Is that something that you always do?
Absolutely. You know, after you run so many miles, your body starts to tell you, I don't want to run anymore. Give up, it says. Go take a nap.
Oh, I've heard that voice.
Right, so I'm over here trying to be the voice that says, you can do this. Keep going. I'm encouraging them.
Well, that's pretty...
Heads up, let's go. Yes, you've got this. Come on. You're almost there. Keep going. Help me out.
Oh, go, you can do it.
Yeah, run. Put the bottom of your feet on the ground repeatedly. Run.
Yeah. That's great.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on to the show, Sally. I feel more encouraged just having you here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure we can keep going without you.
Hey, don't you quit on me. You get out there, do the show, and finish strong. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
You've got this. You're the best person for the job.
I am. Oh. I am amazing. This is amazing. This is the best water I've ever had.
Only the best for the best.
Thanks. Now you get out there and you keep encouraging people right now.
I always do.
Go, keep going. You're the best. Go, go, go. You're the best, Brandon.
I know you are.
I know.
It's Bible story time with Kellen.
What up, guys?
Hey, Kellen, you got a story for us?
I do have a story for you. You can read it yourself in the books of 1st and 2nd Kings, or you can stick around and watch a little human head puppet theater. Around 3,000 years ago, God chose a man named Elijah to be one of his prophets.
Hello! I am Elijah. I am a prophet of God. He reveals himself to me and relates what he requires.
Elijah was waiting on the mountain when God revealed. God spoke to Elijah.
Elijah,
Lord,
go to the desert of Damascus. Anoint Elisha as the next prophet after you.
Lord, why are you whispering?
Because I want you to listen.
Oh, that makes sense.
Go.
So Elijah left the mountain like God told him to, and he found the man that would one day take his place, Elisha. Okay, these names are going to get confusing.
Do these help?
They do. Thanks. While Elisha was out plowing in the field, Elijah went up and threw his coat around him, a symbol that Elisha had been chosen as the next prophet.
Elisha!
Oh, what?
Here you are.
Dude, what does this mean?
You will one day take my place as prophet of God.
Oh, far out.
No. Right here.
Righteous.
Yes.
I will follow you.
Good. Let's go.
So Elisha became Elijah's servant. And for many years, Elisha followed Elijah everywhere. But then the time came for God to do something very special with Elijah. Elijah was going somewhere that Elisha couldn't follow.
Elisha, stay here. The Lord wants me to go to Bethel.
Just as sure as you and the Lord are alive, I'm gonna stay right by your side. Dude, I rhymed!
So they went down to Bethel. In Bethel, some prophets asked Elisha if he knew that God was taking Elijah to heaven that day.
Yeah, I know. Be quiet.
Elisha, stay here. The Lord wants me to go to Jericho.
Jericho's the place where God's sending you. But sure as you're born, I'm going there too. Ah, dude, I rhymed again. Ah, what?
So they went to Jericho. In Jericho, some more prophets asked Elisha if he was aware that God was taking Elijah to heaven that day.
I know. What does everyone keep bringing it up?
Elisha, stay here. The Lord wants me to go to the Jordan River.
If I've told you once, I've told you 3 times. If you're going someplace, I'm going to go there also. I couldn't think of a rhyme.
So they walked to the Jordan River. A group of 50 prophets followed them to the river and stopped nearby to watch what happened next.
Whoa! What are we supposed to do now? Swim?
Just watch and be amazed.
Am I supposed to be amazed yet?
I'm trying to take off my coat.
Oh! You want me to help?
No, just let Kellen do it.
Oh, yeah.
Will do. Elijah took off his coat, rolled it up, and struck the water with it.
Whoa!
Tell me, after we walk through the river on dry land, what can I do for you before I'm taken away?
Oh, please give me a double share of your spirit.
That's a tough one. But if you see me when I'm taken away from you, then you will get what you have asked for. If you don't see me, you won't get it.
Okay, but what exactly am I looking for?
Suddenly, there appeared a chariot with horses made of fire.
Ooh.
Something like this, I should think.
I see it. Whoa. Oh, goodbye, Elijah. You've always been a father to me.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Wow. Woo! It disappeared. It went into heaven, dude. On a big chariot. Oh, I'm going to honor him with a great piano piece.
After Elijah had been taken up to heaven, Elisha used Elijah's coat to cross back over the Jordan River. When the group of 50 prophets waiting there saw Elisha crossing through the Jordan River on dry land, they knew Elisha had been given the spirit of Elijah. The end. Thanks for helping out, guys.
Way to tell that story. Way to tell that Bible story, Kellen. You're amazing.
Thank you for the encouragement.
Hey, that's what friends do.
It's true. That's what Elisha did for Elijah when he stayed with him right till the end.
And what Elijah did for Elisha when he left a share of his spirit.
And what God does for us when he gives us the Holy Spirit to help and encourage us through good times and bad.
Great points, both of you. Now get out there and keep telling more Bible stories, Kellen.
I will.
Go, 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 go.
Okay.
Braden, Colton
okay, here we go.
and Braden Murray.
You're
Colton
good at that.
and Braden
Encouraging
Murray.
people? Thanks.
Oh, that
Colton and Braden.
yelling.
Good. Then reveal the question.
When has someone encouraged you?
You encouraged me when I was learning how to juggle potatoes.
That would have worked if you hadn't baked them first.
I know.
And you encourage me every day.
That's because you're the best.
You are.
You are.
Talk about it together.
Yeah.
When has someone encouraged you?
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time for a brand new song.
I'm telling you, you are.
You are.
You're the best.
Yeah,
Vader.
Darth Vader. Churl.
Lanthropist. Lanthropist. Lanthropist.
Cla.
Clan.
Cla.
Clan.
Enjoy the day. God bless you guys.